our next contestant this evening, Jeremy Sharp. Jeremy Sharp is the gloriously handsome editor-in-chief of Indiana Wesleyan University's award-winning student newspaper, The Sojourn, which you can like on Facebook and follow on Twitter at Sojourn, IWU Sojourn. Yes, that was a shameless plug, but that's what happens when they tell him that he can write his own intro. Please welcome Jeremy Sharp.
Stand-up like twice before, and they tell me that I'm supposed to fill like 15 minutes up here, which doesn't seem like a lot when you realize it's only about a 12th of the time it takes to get a quesadilla at Wildcat. But my attention span is only slightly longer than the average IWU relationship, so it's 15 minutes to you, but to me, it seems like more the amount of time it takes to get Wi-Fi on campus. I'm still waiting, IWU. I haven't turned in a paper from freshman year because I'm still waiting for the Wikipedia page on Martin Luther's 95 Thesis to load. But to help with my stand-up comic ability, I thought it would be a great idea if I made a list of funny things about Taylor University. Taylor University's admittance standards are so low, their entrance exam is a maze on the back of a box of Cocoa Puffs. If you can help Toucan Sam find Upland, you can go too! I'm kidding. Obviously, Toucan Sam is on Fruit Loops. So that was some pretty good stuff, but I didn't think it was enough. I didn't think it would be enough because all I have is that one, and the rest are reasons why I think it would be cool to be a Power Ranger. The red one. But then, I thought it would be a great idea to make a list of also funny things about IWU secret admirers. Actually, now that I think about it, the fact that that exists is kind of a punchline in itself, so we're just gonna skip that one like hopscotch. Finally, I thought it would be a wonderful idea if I made a list of funny things about me. You wore footy dinosaur pajamas until you were a sophomore. In college. All right, we're just not going to do that. Nope. We're going to try to think of something else here. So, I'm a senior. Where are my seniors at? Where are my super seniors at? You guys are a lot more enthusiastic. But with being a senior comes all the wonderful things about being in your final year at school. Stuff like being first to register for classes, knowing a really tight-knit group of friends, and having this constant fear of impending doom. Otherwise known as life after graduation. Growing up was some scary stuff. Good thing I picked such a safe and profitable major like journalism, huh? I'm not ready, I promise. Nah, I'm just kidding. I have full confidence that my major will take me to some really fun and exciting places, and it already has. For example, my first internship was actually a copy editing position at the Mars Candy Company. Proofreading M&Ms. It was exhausting. I have come a long way since my younger years. As hard as I'm sure this is for a lot of you to believe, less hard for others. I wasn't exactly a stud back then. Yeah, in high school there were always so many girls trying to get out of this. To stay away from them. I don't even know what happened either. I was like one of the cutest babies my mom said she had ever seen. I had it going on like Caillou. was always either covered in mucus, spaghetti, or my own tears. I had those shoes that light up every time you take a step, and they're for the parents for like the first 12 feet and annoying for the other 15 miles. And I had like 6 chins. I was cute! And really, you guys are laughing, which kind of hurts. But you're also laughing because you think I'm joking, just because this is like a stand-up comedy show or something. But this is like real life struggles I've been having, you know? Because when I was little, everybody was always like, oh, he's so cute. He's gonna be beating up girls with a stick. And then when I got older, they were like, oh. Better give the stick to them. I think the culmination of all of this had to be my senior year of high school, right before a very traumatizing experience in my life. Prom. Like I said, it was my senior year, and I had never gone before, but I decided that it was something that I should do. So I asked a friend of mine to go with me. It was a girl. And I texted her because obviously I didn't want to intimidate her with my good looks. Okay? So she said yes, and so we're all happy. And we decided that it was time to start all the preparations that go along with the magical, wonderful, mystical prom night experience. And the first thing that we decided we had to do was go to the store to get her tux, my dress, her. I changed a lot since high school, but not that much. Let's start over. We decided we needed to go to the clothes store to get her dress, my suit, my very manly suit, okay? And so, you know, we go to the store, and when we get there, there's this big long line going out the door and around the store. So, we get in line, and we waited and waited and waited. Finally, we get to the front line, we get our clothes, we're all good to go. That was fun. The next day, we decided that we needed to, you know, pick out something else for prom. What are those flower things called? Like, put them on your wrist and they die during the dance? No, seriously, you see guys with them like in their coat pocket, like at the water fountain, giving them a drink of water just like I of course saw it, somebody over here said thank you. So yeah, we need to go to the flower store to get my soon-to-be-dead boutonniere and her already dying chrysanthemums. So, you know, we go to the store, and when we get there, there's this big long line going out the door, around the store, in the parking lot. So, we get in line, and we waited, waited, and waited. Finally, we get to the front of the line, we pick out our flowers, and we're great. But then the day before the dance, I realized that I had neglected what I'm told is a very vital part of the magical mystical prom experience, and that was getting a limo. So, I go to the limo store, and when I get there, there's this big long line going out the door, around the store, into the parking lot, down the sidewalk. So, I get in line, and I waited and waited and waited. Finally, I get to the front of the line and pick out my limo. Except, since I was like the last person in the entire world to have this idea, they were all out of limos. So what I got was more like a luxury minivan. But it got us there, you know, we're good. So it was the day of the dance, you know, we're at prom, we're dancing. Obviously it's going well, until I realized that I needed to use the restroom. So I go over to the restroom, and when I get there, there's this big long line going out the door down the hallway. So I get in line, and I waited and waited and waited. Finally, get to the front line, take care of my business, get back out on the dance floor. But when I get there, there's this like big crowd of people in the middle of the dance floor. And I didn't know what was going on. I thought it might be a dance-off. Obviously, I want to get in on that. And so I like kind of elbow my way to the front of the line. And when I get there, I see that all these people are crowded around my date, who is passed out on the dance floor. Why is that funny? So my date's passed out on the dance floor, and so I'm freaking out. I didn't know what to do. And then this girl beside me kind of nudges me, and she's like, hey, you're her date. Go get her some punch. So I go over to the punch table, and thank goodness there's no punchline. You'll get it in a minute. Might take you a couple. Moving on. My love life, as great of a story as most of it is for a stand-up ago, and I just now realized how sad that actually is. But it wasn't completely taken from Taylor Swift songs. The sad ones, not the happy one. But it's ended up okay in the end because I'm engaged! Thanks, babe. Yay, we love being IWU statistics! Woo! No, seriously though, I think it's something like 64% of IWU students are engaged by the time they leave Indiana Wesleyan. Think about it this way, our engagement rate rivals the graduation rate of some other schools. Including our own. There is even something in the student handbook, it's in the fine print, but it says that if you are not engaged by the time you leave Indiana Wesleyan, you get all your tuition money back. I'm a little bit afraid right now because I think there might be like a line of single seniors at account services tomorrow. They're gonna be like, is this true? You said it's true. It's spring, no ring, tuition money. And then they're gonna be like, yeah, well, you also wasted 6 minutes of your life on a joke with no punchline. Tell you what that says about disability right here. Free tuition. This is IWU. They would rather give us good internet and clean glasses in Baldwin. But admit it though, the engaged stereotype, it's even in the marketing here at IWU. They always tell potential students about the beautiful campus, the brand new chapel, and the fact that there is a nursing or youth ministries major here for you, and yes, they would love to move to Colorado and start a church plant with you. I don't even know. Obviously, I don't really fit into the typical IWU stereotype. So I'm engaged to my nursing major fiance. Can't help yourself. But even though getting engaged here, well, it's kind of like hearing a Mumford & Sons song, Macan. It's still a big deal, but nobody's really surprised. And you know that thing that says that you have to spend like 3 months' salary on the ring? Well, fortunately, I was unemployed at the time. So that was convenient for me. I think the biggest difference between being single and being in a relationship, it isn't figuring out where you're gonna spend the holidays. It isn't sacrificing my precious video game time. It's coming to grips with the fact that I will never again be allowed to eat my entire burrito. That's right, sharing food. You see, if my fiance and I were to follow the advice of noted marriage counselor Kanye West, and holla, we want prenup, the thing we would debate the most about splitting up is the chips and salsa before our meal at Casa Brava. And it wouldn't be such a big deal either. No, my fiance is typically a very petite eater. Except when I have to share my Hot Pockets with her. And then it turns into like something off an Animal Planet when the python swallowed the ostrich whole. And now that we're engaged, the bites just keep getting bigger and bigger. Okay. I don't know, I guess it's just all part of growing up, becoming newly single, and joining the real world. And actually, speaking of joining the real world, I gotta give Indiana Wesleyan University props because you might remember last semester, they made a big change that really helped IWU students get a better taste of the real world, you know? Finally allowing students to learn self-control and personal responsibility. You guys probably remember what I'm talking about. They reopened Mario's and gave us a wings place. Seriously though, if learning to not get pizza sticks and Parmesan garlic wings at 11:30 every night doesn't teach me personal responsibility, nothing. And just a side note on that, I have had world literature exams that weren't as hard as their breast exams. I'm just saying. I think right now though, the biggest difference between IWU and the real world, well, I've noticed that at Indiana Wesleyan University, it's illegal to drink alcohol. Newsflash. But sometimes outside of this campus, it seems like it's illegal not to drink alcohol. Like, I would be at work over the summer and somebody would walk by my office and be like, hey Jerry, you want a cold one? And I would be like, are you serious? It's 9:30 in the morning. The only cold one I want is some skim milk to put on my Raisin Bran nose. Thank you. We gotta work on some of these IWU specific terms too. You know what I'm talking about? There are just some things that happen here that wouldn't make any sense to anybody outside of this campus. Like, for instance, when I was a freshman, I had never heard of a life verse before. And so my freshman year, I sat down, freshman Jeremy opened up his Bible and said, Lord, please show me my life verse. Pointed at a random part on the page and read 1 Kings 11:3. He had 700 wives of royal birth. And 300 concubines. Lord, are you sure? I am your humble servant. Thank you guys so much. You've been great.